Good evening, Internet, and welcome to another episode of EDC with me. This is where I cover products that I've actually carried and continue to carry and give my feedback as to whether they're worth it or not. So today I wanted to cover the Pro Trek 600Y. There's a few different versions of this. They all look very similar. I've been wearing this for, I think, just over a year now. And I spent a lot of time researching different watches, and I ultimately ended up with this Pro Trek for a couple of reasons. One, the price was right on Amazon, and two, this seemed to make the most sense to me from a pragmatic standpoint. So let me tell you what I mean by that. So this watch, it's extremely durable. It's a 10 bar, which equates to, I believe, 100 feet. Underwater, which I'll hopefully never be. It has a compass, which was one of my requirements and still is, and it also uses solar technology. So what I mean by that is, it's hard to tell, but this gray background here actually absorbs solar energy. And the reason why that's important to me is I don't want to have to switch out batteries. And when I use something, I want it to work when I go to use it, which is much like my Zippo scenario I went through with Zippo and Bic. I kept having an issue with Zippos running out of fluid. So when I went to use the Zippo, it was dry. So kind of the same idea when I go to use my watch, or if I depend on a compass in a situation, I want to make sure the compass works, and if I am truly lost and I have no way to recharge this device other than the sun, I can do that. So it's a little bit of a rant. I guess what I'll go over, again, the reasons why I got it: waterproof, tough, has a compass, and it's solar. Some of the functionality of it, you can see down below here. It's got the date, the day. You see this little hand here. This is for different modes. So you have a barometer. This here shows time. So this is kind of throughout the day, up and down. This is the current barometer. I don't know if you saw when I click this, the hands move out of the way temporarily. That's great, Casio. On to the next one, we've got temp. So I've got it set to Fahrenheit. Recall, I've never used this, but apparently you can basically, as you go along, let's say I was on a hike and I was at a certain elevation or walking a certain direction, this will tell me throughout time what that elevation was, or what have you. I haven't used it. I don't know too much about it. Something I may look into later on. We have a stopwatch on here, pretty typical for, I'm sure, every Casio. Timer, you can change this. I have it set to a generic 10-minute timer. I use this all the time, especially with cooking. There's an alarm. There's multiple alarms you can set. The audio out of this is enough to wake me. I would say I'm not a light sleeper, but I'd say an average sleeper as far as how easy it is to wake me up. Here you can do the watch time. So instead of going analog, you've got the digital version here. And I think, so see how it says HT? It's been a while since I set this up, but I think that's your home time. So I could leave this on when I traveled, and then I could actually go in, this will unthread, and I can change the time based on where I am, and this will remain the same. So you kind of always have a idea of what time it is at your home location. I don't know if you saw, there's a little H on the side here. I'll get back to it. That is for the battery life. H for high. Since this is fully charged, I have yet to see it go below H. I mean, winter months are coming up again here, so it is darker, but this thing, it's charged. I think the expectation is, 30 years for the battery life. Something crazy. I don't know if that's true, but that's what I read. So that was the modes here on the side. Here I can change the display. So earlier with the barometer, this is the barometer, always on. This would be pretty useful if you're outside and you're watching the weather and you see it start to drop. You can see up here on the corner it started to drop, went back up, down. No rain today or anything, but there we go, back to regular time and PM, and then date and time here, which is what I prefer. Let's talk about the compass. So when you press the compass button on here, what you'll see happen is the second hand is facing north. You'll see it says south down here with a degree. The 12 is my bearing here, so south-southwest. You can see if I turn it at all, it changes. This seems to be pretty accurate. I have not compared it to a traditional compass, but in people's cars with their compass, this seems to line up every time. If you press this, we'll go back to regular time, back to the regular seconds. Pretty cool. On here we've got the altimeter. Altitude. We've got the altitude. So I changed it to feet. It shows me how high up I am. Here on the side you'll see this bar moving. This is illustrating if we're going up or down. So if I were driving or walking and I turn the altimeter on, you'll see this increase or decrease in height, letting you kind of track if you're going up or downhill. Instead of just looking at your feet periodically, you've got kind of a measurement to the side here. That's pretty cool. It's fun to watch while you drive too. I don't think this is super accurate, but it's better than nothing. And even if this isn't the correct measurement, it does seem to measure correctly while using. I say that based on elevator rides I've taken. It goes about 12 feet, 10 to 12 feet every floor. So it seems to work in real time. So if it was important for you to go up or down in a situation, you should be able to figure it out with this if you're going up or down. That's great if you're stuck in the middle of the woods and you can't really see if you're going up or down like you would be able to most likely in a field. Modifications I made to this, I put a metal band on it. Just something I picked up off Amazon, pretty inexpensive. I believe it's 23 millimeter watch band. You can see it's wearing out pretty fast. The original bands this comes with are some type of silicone composite. I don't know if it says. Doesn't look like it. Very comfortable. They've done a great job with this band. I chose to swap it out though just because this is more of an outdoorsy type look, and what I do for work, I wanted something that looked a little more professional, and that's what this steel gives me. It's held up pretty well for a pretty inexpensive watch band on Amazon. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Like if this is helpful for any people looking at watches. Let me know if there's another version of this that's better for any reason. But again, for me, this, after quite a bit of research, this thing hit on every level that I was looking for. And one other thing, they do make screen protectors for this guy. I'm going through about one a year, so I just recently replaced it. I don't know if it's a sapphire screen or glass. I don't think it is. That's why I probably got this, but this has worked perfectly to protect it. All right. Thank you.